Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the 11th episode of PHP with MySQL Crash Course for Beginners, Date and Time. Now we'll talk about how you can manage date and time in PHP. And here we have got our Visual Studio Code as our code editor. And if you need to learn more about VS Code, you can watch my VS based series and find the link in the description below. Let's bring up our Explorer and let's select sample, and I'm gonna make a copy and let's rename it as date-time.php. Let's close the Explorer as well as sample.php, and let's browse this file with this go live server just to turn your auto reload on. And let's close that, get back to VS Code. Let's right click and click on this PHP server to turn the PHP server on. Let's close the terminal as well as this notification. Alright, now to make sure that your auto reload is working, let's add some PHP tag and let's echo hello followed by a semicolon. Hit save and let's bring up our browser and browse to local host followed by PHP tutorial followed by the name of the file that we have just created, which is date-time.php. Hit enter and that's working. Now let's resize the browser as well as editor and make sure that auto reload is working. Let's add some random text here, say Z, hit save, and that's working. Let me zoom in a bit. That's, I guess, looks better. Alright, so let's undo that and get back to date and time. First of all, we are going to jump into that how you can get current date and time. For that, I'm going to define a new variable here, say current date time equals to, and here you will need to call a built-in function which is simply date, and you will need to provide here couple of letters as an argument, say within quotes capital Y hyphen M hyphen D space uppercase H colon I colon S followed by semicolon, and as you hit save. Now let me tell you what this function date is all about. Date function generates a formatted data string based on a given format, and this whole string that includes YMDHIS. This Y represents, or let's echo it, $current hyphen followed by, and let's add some line break as well. Let's save and we get the current date as well as the time. So this uppercase Y represents the year, then this lowercase m represents the month as a number, and this D represents the date, and this uppercase H represents hour, this lowercase I represents minutes, and this lowercase s represents seconds. Now say if you want to get full month name in textual form, let's comment that out. So let's copy this whole block of code and paste that in here. So to do that, you just need to replace this lowercase m with uppercase F, hit save, and we get the textual form of the month, that is Apple. And say if you want to get abbreviated month name, let's comment that out and copy this whole block of code and let's paste that in here. And to get abbreviated month name, you just need to replace this F with uppercase M, hit save, and we get the abbreviated month name. After that, you can also echo specific parts of the date. Let's comment that out and go to the next line, or let me add some room there. Let's go all the way up and let me define a couple of variables here. Say year equals to date, and you could only add here say uppercase Y to get only year, and then let's add month equals to date M for month in number, and then day or the date equals to date, and that is denoted by lowercase d. And then let's echo year and concatenate year, and let's concatenate month colon, and let's concatenate the variable that we defined for month, and then day. Let me wrap the editor and at colon let's concatenate $day semicolon, and let's add some line break as well, and hopefully yes, it's safe, and we get year 2024, or let's add some space there as well. It's safe, and we get year 2024, month 04, day is 12th. Secondly, let's talk about how you can format specific date, and for that you will need to understand Unix timestamp. Unix timestamp, it's a way to represent time as the number of seconds that have elapsed since January. Say, let me add a comment there as well. Unix -time stamp. Alright, since within quotes let's add January 1st or 1st, comma 1970, comma 00 colon 00 colon 00. Let's comment that out. So this is actually Unix timestamp, and elapsed from January 1st 1970 000000 UTC stands for Coordinated Universal Time. Now let me show you how you can get the current Unix time stamp. Let's comment that out, go to the next row, and let me define a new variable here. Say Unix time equals to time, and this is the function from which you can get the current Unix timestamp. And let's echo Unix time followed by, let's add some line break there as well. Hit save, and this text represents the current Unix timestamp. Now let's move on to how you can format specific date string. Let's go to the next row and format specific date string. Let's comment that out, and let's browse all the way up, and here I'm gonna define a new variable. Say time stamp equals to, and here you will need to, before that let's add say dollar specific date string equals to say 2023-11-25. So this is the date string, and you just want to convert this specific date string to Unix timestamp. So to do that, you will need to invoke a function here, built-in function here. Say string to time and pass your specific date, which is specific date string followed by semicolon, and let's add some line break as well. But before that, let's echo timestamp followed by semicolon, hit save, and we get, or I guess it would be good idea if I add some heading there as well. So for that, let's come in here and say h3, and let's make it sample, cut that, get back in here, and current date and type. Instead of this comment, I'm gonna add a heading here, and you can also embed HTML within PHP just by adding, let's cut that and paste that in here. Let's fix the indentation, hit save, and we get the heading here. h3 is fine, I guess. So let's make this current date and time. So that looks better, I guess. So let's copy and paste that in here and get full month. Let's cut that, or let's keep it right there. Copy, just for some just to make a difference, I'll keep the comments and the heading as well. Hit save, get full month name in textual form, and then let's copy. Okay, and after that I'm gonna add, say, abbreviated month name. Let's paste that in here, abbreviated month name. Let's copy and paste that specific parts of the date. Let's paste that here as heading. Let's copy this line of code, go to the next row, or here I think we will need the heading here. Let's copy current timestamp, and let's replace this text with that, and let's copy this line of code from here and paste that here as well. Format specific data string, paste that, hit save, and we get pretty nice and decent headings. So specific data string, let's cut this empty space or empty line from there. Specific date, formatted date. So we were right here. Now we get this Unix timestamp. We have converted this specific data string to Unix timestamp, and say if you want to convert this Unix timestamp in specific date format, just get back in here, and after that let me define a new variable here, say formatted date equals to, we'll call date function, and here you'll need to pass your formats that you want this date, and let's add L comma uppercase F comma J uppercase S, and then Y uppercase Y. So that is the format that you want this timestamp in, and then you will need to pass here the timestamp as well. Let's copy that from here and paste that in here, followed by semicolon, and then I'm gonna add some line break there, hit save, and let's echo, I forgot to echo, dollar formatted date followed by semicolon, hit save, and we get it. So this is Saturday, November 25th, 2023. So this date function formats the Unix timestamp into a readable data string, and these, let me select all of them, these format characters represent day of the week, this L, and full month name denoted by this uppercase F, and J uppercase S represents the day of the month, followed by TH with suffix nth number, and the year denoted by uppercase Y. After that, you can also calculate the date after a week from current date. Let's copy this whole text, and I also have, let me see, PHP, and I have this snippet. Just to trigger this this abbreviation HD, I get this whole block of code from echo till HR. So let's implement that. HD. Alright, so that looks fine, I guess. Paste that in here. Let's comment that out, hit save, and with that snippet we get this whole block of code. So that is much easy. That's easier, I guess. Alright, so after that I'm gonna define a new variable here, say future date equals to, let's call date function. Let's add some space there, followed by semicolon, and here I'm gonna pass here first format, which is uppercase Y hyphen uppercase M hyphen lowercase d, comma, and then I'm gonna add here a function string to time, and here you will need to pass, say, +1 space week as an argument. Let's go to the next row and echo date, or say, let's copy this text from here, copy, let's paste that in here, semicolon, and let's concatenate here $future date followed by semicolon, and let's add some line break, hit save, and this is something what we get. So the date I am recording this episode is 12. Today is 12, and this variable shows us this is date after a week from current date. It's going to be 2024 April 19. So that's how you can calculate the date after a week from current date. Next, we are going to discuss that how you can also create a Unix time stamp for a specific date and time. Let's comment that out. So previously we converted a specific date to Unix timestamp. Now what we'll try to do is we'll try to convert Unix timestamp, or we'll try to convert any specific date and time to Unix timestamp, and you can do that. Let's scroll all the way up. Let me define a new variable here, say custom time stamp is equals to, now you'll need to invoke here a function make time, and you will need to pass here specific date and time. Let me specify here first, then I'll explain it to you. Let's add 12 30 0 11 comma 25 comma 2023 forward. After that, let's add semicolon. Make time. This function generates a Unix timestamp based on a specified date and time parameters, and that can be, say, at 12 hour 30 minutes 0 second, the date would be, the month would be 11, date would be 25, and the year would be 2023. Let's go to the next row and echo, say, or let's copy custom unix time stamp colon. Let's concatenate here variable that we have just defined, current date, custom timestamp, hit enter. Let's go to the next row and add some line break. It's safe, and we get, sorry, I forgot to add here heading. Let's copy unix timestamp, let's take this whole text from here and paste that in here. It's safe, and we get really nice heading as well. So for this time and date, if you convert this time and date to Unix timestamp, it renders this number. Now let's convert the Unix time stamp to a readable date format. We have already done that, but for the sake of an idea, let's define a new variable here. Say converted date is equals to, now you will need to invoke date function here and pass a couple of arguments, the format as well as the Unix timestamp. Say uppercase Y -M -D, year, month and date, space uppercase H colon lowercase I colon lowercase s, comma, and the variable that we have just defined, which is custom timestamp. And let's echo converted date colon, and then let's concatenate converted date followed by semicolon, and let's add some line break as well. Hit save, and you notice that it provides us the converted date in a human readable format that we defined here as well. Now another important thing is that how you can, let's scroll all the way up, how you can calculate days between the two dates. Let's copy this whole text, let's add heading, format, paste that in here, and let's comment that out and hit save. Calculate days between the two dates, and for that I'm gonna define a new variable here. Say d1 equals to str to string2time, and let's pass here, say specific date 2023 -12-31 followed by semicolon. Let's go to the next row, and as we discussed earlier, this string2time converts date string to a Unix timestamp representing, and this represents December 31st 2023. And now let's calculate the difference in days between this specified date and the current date, and you can do that. Let's find here another variable, say days difference equals to, and yet now you will need to invoke here a function called ceil. Let me define the whole expression, then I'll explain it to you. And then let's define here another expression which is $D1. Let's add or deduct the current timestamp, and then let's divide this whole expression by another expression, which is 60 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 24, and then let's echo, say, days until, let's concatenate here D1, and then I'm gonna concatenate here again until, let's remove this column from here and add it here, space, and after that let's concatenate days difference followed by semicolon. And now let me explain you what this whole expression, or let me maximize the editor, this whole expression is about. This time function retrieves the current Unix timestamp representing the current date and time, and then this whole expression calculates the difference in seconds between D1 and the current time and the current timestamp represented by this function time. And then we have this expression. Now this expression converts the time difference from seconds to days. And then we have the ceil function. This ceil function rounds up the resulting number of days to the nearest whole number. And after that, let's add some line break. Let me resize the editor, and as I hit save, we get days until this timestamp is 103. I think I made some mistake. D1 minus time divided by, sorry, 60 into 24. Why do we get this 103? 103 days. 103 days. Why do we get it? Say if let's make a copy, comment this out, and I'm gonna take this whole expressions from here, cut that and paste that in here, hit save and see what we get. Still negative. Let's undo that. Why do we get this negative sign here? Okay, so there is a mistake that we are counting the difference, so that is 103 days. And if you get confused with this negative sign, so what you can do, just come in here and cut that from here, and from now let's find out the difference from current time to the D1. Cut that, hit save, and now we don't get that negative sign here. So you just need to avoid that negative sign. The next thing you'd like to get into is how to set the default time zone. Let's copy the text, comment that out, go to the next row, and let's call HD, paste that in here, hit save, set the default time zone, and let's scroll all the way up. Now you will need to invoke a function that is date underscore default time zone set, and that sets the default time zone. And here you will need to pass the time zone that you want as an argument, say America, and the city would be New York, YORK, followed by semicolon. And let's say if you want to echo default time zone and let's concatenate. And to get the default time zone, you need to invoke a function date underscore default time zone get, followed by semicolon, and let's add some line break as well. Hit save and we get notice time ID is invalid, America, New York. Alright, so I forgot to add here underscore. Hit save and we get the time zone. This is America and New York. So that's how you can set and get the default time zone. And finally, you'd be interested to echo the current date and time in the set time zone. So we have already set the default time zone. Now I am going to define a new variable, current date and time equals to date, and let's pass here the format, which is uppercase Y hyphen M hyphen D space uppercase H colon I colon S followed by semicolon, and then let's echo within quotes current date and time in New York. Let's concatenate current date time, and let's go to the next row, add some line break. Hit save and we get, let's browse all the way down, current date and time in New York is 2024 4 11 19 17 and 59. So this is the time right now in New York. And that was all about date and time in PHP. If you have any question, you just feel free to comment below, and do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching and see you next time.